as Elvis Presley was, though my heart will never shiver to a million girls' applause, though I'll never make much money and my records never play. I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing any way I can, I sing anyway. I sing here and now, I sing anyhow, I sing anywhere, I don't care, I sing anyway. Though the only fan I've got cools the summer heat, though all my plans are shot, I won't admit defeat. Though the CBC's indifferent to everything I say, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing any way I can, I sing anyway. I sing here and now, I sing anyhow, I sing anywhere, I don't care, I sing anyway. Though my voice is not as golden as Johnny Cash's growl, though no agent ever phones me, I won't throw in the towel. Though God himself is deaf and his angels look away, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing any way I can, I sing anyway. I sing here and now, I sing anyhow, I sing anywhere, I don't care, I sing anyway. Oh, I'm feeling kind of older, and my hair is turning gray, and my world is turning colder, though it's warming up, they say. Though I'll never be remembered and my tongue will turn to clay, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing any way I can, I sing anyway. I sing here and now, I sing anyhow, I sing anywhere, I don't care, I sing anyway. I sing anyway, I sing anyway, I sing any way I can, I sing anyway. I sing here and now, I sing anyhow, I sing anywhere, I don't care, I sing anyway.
This is CIUT 89.5 FM. My name is Valentino Assenza. You're listening to HOWL. This is part of the Spring Membership Drive. This is our fundraiser show. Please go to www.ciut.fm, click on the donate button, and please donate whatever you can. We certainly appreciate your support. The song that you just heard there is from poet and singer-songwriter Max Layton. He's the son of Irving Layton, and he's just a really wonderful singer-songwriter, wonderful poet. He had a regular gig at the Transac, and he's part of a really wonderful poetry community in Toronto. I got the opportunity to speak with Max about writing songs, writing poems, and most recently writing a non-fiction book. So here's the conversation for you on CIUT 89.5 FM. This is the second time that I'm talking to you, but it was a much different world the last time that we talked to each other. How have you been?
Well, I mean, just surviving, like everybody else. COVID shut us all down and shut me down for a couple of years. I was doing a monthly gig at a club called the Transact. Every month I would go with hopefully a new song and certainly a new guest and my co-host, Robert Priest. And, it was a fantastic thing, which we'd done for 15 years.
Yeah.
And COVID just shut that right down. And so it's not just me who suffered, but all the guests that we've had over the years, we couldn't invite them. I had to cancel, unbelievable number of people that we had already booked in advance. So that was not good. And that was my sort of main outlet, frankly, for giving me an excuse to come downtown Toronto, and because I don't live in Toronto. So it was, an excuse to get out and meet some people, and that happened every single month, and suddenly it just disappeared, right?
And it's an interesting thing that you're bringing that up, because a lot of people would say that COVID sort of gave us the opportunity to pause, and the fact that we had that time to create. But it's an interesting point that you're touching on, is that sense of community that you once had, and interaction was very much a part of the whole creative process and inspiration to you. Is that right?
Well, definitely. In fact, the proof of the pudding is, I would have a new song every month for 15 years. Practically every month I would come up with something new. And what motivated me was knowing that I've got an audience. I've got my fellow musicians that I would meet at the Transact, of course, and back me up, my backup musicians. And without an audience, the artist doesn't really have the same motivation to create, because there isn't anybody who's going to hear it except for a few friends, So it's interesting, because you often hear, well, an artist writes for himself. And in a way, it's true, of course. But at the same time, as you're writing for yourself, you're thinking in terms of an audience. Somebody's going to respond to this, and you're trying to talk to people or for people. In fact, talking for people is just as important as talking to people. So by losing an audience like that, I felt personally anyway, that some of my motivation as a songwriter had been taken away. Now, luckily for me, I was writing a nonfiction book, my very first nonfiction book, called Self. May as well do a little promotion here. It doesn't have a publisher yet, but it's being read by a publisher as we speak, and I expect to hear any day whether or not they want to publish it. But the subject is the evolution of human self-consciousness from Neolithic times all the way to the present. And it was a very absorbing task trying to write this. And luckily it gave me something very serious that I had to research and I had to think about and do for all this COVID period time. So I was personally okay. And that was a book that, was for myself as much as anything else. All the research and everything that I had to do, that was something I could do alone. I didn't need an audience for. But still, in my mind, I'm waiting for the day when the book gets published and people get to read it. And if I didn't have that, I don't know that I would ever have written it.
It's an interesting thing too that before this interview here, we actually played a song of yours called "I Sing Anyway," And I feel like it's very much it feels sort of like an activist song, in the sense that you're being your own activist. That even though you relate some of it to fame, in that you're not going to be as famous as Elvis or as Johnny Cash, but it does also speak to the times too. That for when things get confusing or straight out stressful, that you sing anyway. Is that what you were trying to say through that song?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that goes back to what I was saying. You know, the artist writes for himself fundamentally,
Mm-hmm.
and I sing anyway, no matter what, even though I'm never going to be famous, even though I'm never going to make any money at it. I do it anyway. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I kind of have to. Uh, I I can't just suppress my own feelings and thoughts and desire to sing in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me purpose and motivation no matter what, even if God himself is deaf, even if the angels turn away, even if I'm going to grow old, well, I have already grown old, even if my hair turns gray and my tongue turns to clay, I know that's going to happen eventually. I mean, I'm mortal. I know that when I die, that's probably going to be the end of it for me in terms of any ongoing artistic relevance. But I do it anyway, and that's
Yeah.
the meaning of that song. That's the forceful statement of that song.
I think it's also a motivation for, I mean, for artists as well, um, to keep things creative, even though there's obstacles in the way. Like for instance, I really don't mean to bring anything back to myself here, but I maintain a day job during the day, and I and I do this as part of CIUT. And oftentimes I ask, "Am I overloading my plate here?" But I feel that sometimes it does pile up, but it is always a joy to talk to artists like yourself. And here we are, and it's the 35th year of CIUT 89.5 FM. You've been on this show before, and you definitely are immersed in an artist community. Can you just talk a little bit about why a station like CIUT or a show like HOWL would matter to artists or an artist community?
Well, it is one of the ways in which an artist can reach out and speak to a wider audience than just himself and his few friends and his poor suffering wife who has to hear the same songs over and over as I practice them. But the fact is, if it wasn't for CIUT, there wouldn't be a lot of interviews or interest. CIUT really does an important function for the people who are listening. You people get to hear interviews like this one with local artists who really have something to offer to Canada.
Well, we appreciate that, and Max, of course we appreciate having artists like yourself and those artists of the artist communities, because that's what the show was founded on. When Nick Beat and Stephen Humphrey founded the show back in 1995, that's exactly what it was aiming to do. And I'm happy to continue that tradition.
Yes.
It sometimes can be a lot of work, but we appreciate the kind words there. And you've always been an advocate for artists, and that's one of the other reasons why we appreciate having you on the show.
Well,
Most
thank you.
definitely.
Well, I remember Nick Beat very, very well, and he interviewed me a couple of times at least. Uh, his contribution was unbelievable, and his passing was a terrible tragedy. And you've done a great job of continuing that tradition, and so
Thank,
thank you. And I know this is a fundraiser, so people donate.
thank
uh,
you. Yeah,
that's what you should be doing here. This is an important contribution to Canadian culture, and it happens. Well, your show is what
every
every week,
Tuesday night, 10
every
10
Tuesday
p.m. to
night,
11
right?
p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
worth donating to.
Thank you, Max. And for those of you that are listening, please, and you want to do so, just go to www.ciut.fm. There's a big donate button there. And if you're on there, and we accept any donations that you can give us, and there is also a spot in there for you to tell people why Howl is your favorite show. Max, I know that you had mentioned you're writing an autobiography. Was one ruminating for a while, and the stillness of COVID-19 kind of got it out of you, or was it that COVID-19 came along and you said, now this is about the time to do this kind of thing?
Well, it isn't. I'm sorry, I must have misspoke because it's not an autobiography.
Oh, sorry. Okay. My apologies.
It's a nonfiction serious study or thought about the evolution of human self-consciousness.
Oh, I see. My apologies.
Because what distinguishes us from the other animals, or at least most of them, we don't know exactly how elephants or porpoises think. So possibly there's a little more rumination there than we imagine. But certainly human beings are aware of themselves and aware of their own mortality in a way that other animals don't seem to be. I look at my dog. I have a very happy dog, and he isn't bothered by the fact that his life is passing and that he himself is going to pass. I don't think he worries about it at all.
Right.
But we human beings are burdened with the knowledge that we're living in the valley of the shadow of death, and everything that we do is done against the backdrop of our impending doom. Mm-hmm. And we have to carry on somehow anyway, and like I sing anyway, as the title is. But I don't know if you're planning to play that other song that I sent you.
I have I have Back in the Way Back.
Back in the Way Back When. Yeah. Back
in the Way Back When. Yeah, definitely. And can you tell us what brought that song? The inspiration for that song was brought about by writing this nonfiction book?
Well, maybe. I mean, in my own mind, there isn't a direct connection, but I have been thinking, because, I'm 76 years old now, so I've been thinking about mortality maybe more than I used to. That song is the most recent song I've written. And the point of it is that when I think about my own childhood, the sun is always shining. It's always a warm summer day. Mm-hmm. And I think about me and my friends walking through the fields. I grew up on the outskirts of Montreal, basically in a farming community. And those are always very happy memories. They're always sunlit memories, and the strange pranks that we boys would do. And in the song itself, there's a sort of symbolic meaning to that song, because although as a child, in my memory of my childhood, it's always a warm summer day, and the sun is a kind of symbol of eternity, maybe God's eye staring down at all of us. What the boy discovers throughout the course of the song is, first of all, aging. There's a silver beard on a milkweed husk. And we grow older from dawn to dusk. And then he sees a dead muskrat, and he sees flies eating it. And, there's death. Death enters. And then the next thing is one of my boyhood friends brings what we thought were balloons. But actually he had found his parents' condoms. And we were blowing them up, and they turned into these weird shaped things.
Right.
And of course, that's sexuality, and sex and death are these two things that rule our lives, and that accompany us on our journey as the sun moves around the world and as the earth moves around the sun. So that's actually the theme of that song. Against the eternity of the cycle of birth, reproduction, and death, there is this, that's the eternal cycle. And we ourselves move through this cycle in various stages. as we grow older. And and yet we have this memory of when we were childlike, when we were a child, and we had no awareness of any of these things. So that's the meaning of that song.
And Max, how can people listen to your music? How are they able to access your music?
Well, one way, of course, is to go to www.maxlayton.com. Mm-hmm. And that's my website. And from there, you can link to my CDs and listen to them for free. So you can hear the songs if you want to. To hear more recent songs, because I haven't recorded a CD, and I don't know that I ever will. It's so darn expensive now. So to hear those, you could go to my Facebook page. So it's just Max Layton on Facebook. And just go to that page and scroll down, and you'll see the songs are there, and just click on them, and you can listen to them.
Perfect. And Max, we're gonna be playing that one after this interview is done. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. And please keep in touch, Max. I don't know what's going to become of your nonfiction book, but I'd love to have you back to talk about it.
Oh, great. Okay, that's a deal.
Awesome.
And listen, thank you for inviting me on the show and for the fundraiser. That's an important moment in our community's culture. Thank you.
It's always a warm summer's day, back in the way back when skies are blue and the sun always shines on me and my childhood friends. We walk through grass that's taller than us. There's a silver beard on a milkweed husk. The sun is golden and gold can't rust. But we grow older from dawn to dusk. It's always a warm summer's day. Ronnie has found some balloons in a locked box in his parents' bedroom. They're white and they're weird when we blow them. We play in the reeds beside a creek. We see a dead muskrat and watch the flies eat. Their wings are golden in the sun, and we're much older when day is done. It's always a warm summer's day. Tony has brought cigarettes. We smoke a whole pack in a shack in the woods. And I won the smoke the most bet. Mom's in the kitchen and Dad's in a book. I know they've been fighting by their angry look. My hair was golden, but now it's gray. And I grew older when Dad moved away. It's always a warm summer's day, back in the way back when skies are blue and the sun always shines on me and my childhood friends. back in the way back when.